Hello everyone and welcome to the first of our short interviews that are designed to support professional learning amongst physical educators and sports coaches. Thank you for listening. We hope you find it interesting, thought-provoking and useful. My name's Greg Dreyer and I'm the CEO and co-founder of miMove, and I'm joined by a very special guest today. But before I introduce him, I'm going to hand over to my co-panelists to introduce themselves and say a few words about what they do. So over to you, Simon.
Hi Greg, yeah, thanks for having me. My name's Simon Scarborough. I'm the head of PE at Crispin School in Somerset in the UK, and we're about to go into our second year at school of using the miMove app.
Thanks. And we're also joined by Andy. Over to you.
Yeah, my name's Andy Vasily. I'm currently a instructional coach. So I coach teachers. My background is physical education and health, and I've had the good fortune of working in 5 different countries over the past 20 years, working with teachers, and I love what I do, and I'm very grateful to be in this call.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us, and over to my colleague Marcella.
Hi, my name is Marcella Griso, and I'm co-founder of miMove, and my background's also in English teaching and education.
Thank you. And our special guest today, excuse me, is Heimir Hallgrimsson. Heimir has just finished a contract in Qatar, where he was head coach of Al Arabi in the Qatar Stars League. He was there from 2018, but it was his work in the 5-year period up to and including the 2018 World Cup as head coach of Iceland's men's national team that brought him to world prominence. Having previously had a career as a player, dentist, and coached in the men's and women's game in Iceland, he took the national team to their first 2 major championships. He's best known in the UK for masterminding the 2-1 defeat of England at the Euros in 2016. But during his stint as national coach, there was a number of really incredible results, including 2 victories in qualifying against a very strong Netherlands team, a 1-1 draw in the group stage of the Euros against the eventual winners Portugal, and then Iceland became the country with the smallest population to qualify for a World Cup in 2018, where they opened their campaign with a 1-1 draw against Argentina. To put this into perspective, Iceland has a population of around 340,000 people. So that would be approximately 170,000 men. Assuming that 25% are aged 18 to 36 and that they all play football, that would be 42,500 footballers to select from, compared to over 2 million registered football players in England. Heimir, welcome. Thanks for your time. Can you give us a brief insight into the secret of your success, and how did you get a group of players, albeit very talented players, to genuinely believe that they could achieve the sort of results that I just touched upon?
Yeah, it's no secret. It's no secret. Of course, when you get results in team sports, you have to have good players. That's the secret behind everything. And we did. Why we had good players from such a tiny nation is then something we can look back upon, and from educational the side of education, to see what we did was different from what others were doing. And because of our numbers, we had to do things a little bit different than others to become as good as the others. And it's been really well documented. A lot of research has been done. What is Iceland doing? Why are they achieving? Why are they punching above their weight in sports? And it's not only the men's football team. It's the women's football team. It's the women's and men's handball and basketball team. And it's amazing that a country like ours is in the finals, the European finals in basketball, in handball, in football, with men's and women's team. I think the women's basketball team didn't qualify, but it's so amazing, not only because it's a small nation, because it's the same group of same age players in all these sports. So yeah, it's something that I think comes from the background. If we talk from this side, is of course psychology and then everything else, but from the background of sports, I think the most important is qualified coaching. So when you start your your sport in Iceland. It doesn't matter what sport, it doesn't matter what age your kid is, he will have a qualified coach. So if it's a football, if my kid is 5 years old, he will definitely get a UEFA B licensed coach, if not a UEFA A licensed coach, to take care of him in the first years of coaching. It's the same for other sports. Normally in Scandinavia, it's parents who do the coaching, like the first years. But here I think every village prides themselves in having good coaches, because this is one of the things that the Icelanders will look for when they choose where they live, is the facilities for sport, and it's the education, how good are the coaches. And it's amazing. I think per person doing sports, the facilities we have is probably second to none in the world. You will have to see it to believe it. For example, I live in an island outside in the south coast of Iceland, 4,500 people in my island. We have an indoor and outdoor swimming pool. We have an 18-hole golf course, really the most beautiful in Iceland. We have 5 11-a-side grass pitches, half-size football indoor arena, and then we have 3 arenas to play handball. So this is only for 4,500 people. So you can imagine that the kids, they have so much access to do sports. And in a country like ours, where there's not only a long winter, it's a cold winter and it's a dark winter, sports play so much role in just keeping sane. Just keeping sane. Be active, don't stay inside. And especially in the world of computers and mobile phones, this is now becoming more, I think, more and more important.
So to answer the question then, you very humbly said it was to do with the structures, the resourcing and other coaches, and you were just the tip of the iceberg. I'm sure there was more to it than that, but and your answer leads really nicely onto our first question, which is coming from Marcella.
So yes, Heimir, miMove is giving schools unprecedented data about their students' participation in physical activity and sport. One of the documented problems in a youth sport is overuse, often caused from early specialisation. Do you have a sense then of whether the footballers you've worked with, you took part in a range of sports, as you were saying, they had a lot of sports available for them, rather than just play football when they were young? And do you have a view on this?
Yeah, I have. This is why I like this app for the schools to monitor, and especially now. I worked 3 years in Qatar and the rest of my life in Iceland, and it's 2 really different cultures. And both of them are extreme in a way. So for example, it's the same population. The Qataris are 350,000, similar to Iceland. But in other areas, I think we are so different. So if we talk firstly about our players, the Icelandic players, they have so good motor skills because they did a lot of sports, different kind of sports. And we did gymnastics in the past in the school. It was really different from the physical education we have today. But most of the players, every time we go abroad, most of the players go to play golf. So most of them play golf. A lot of them were playing handball. Some of them even made the national team in handball as well. And they play a lot of sport because it's just normal here that you go to a practice, you meet the coach, he tells you, hey, come and join the training, and so your motor skills are pretty good. We are not the most skillful nation in sports, but I think we are highly adaptable. So we are quick to adapt to new cultures, to new coaches, to new playing styles. And I think this is probably our advantage. Nobody has been speaking about, but we are quick adapters. And I think this is from our background in this. So the extremes are, here in Iceland, probably we overuse the kids. So we are not monitoring this. We probably don't know how much the kids are doing. So probably some of them kind of burn out, get injuries they should not. And mostly this is our most precious kids who are good at sports. Normally, if you're good at one sport, you're good at another sport. And here in Iceland, we've done studies that kids who do well at sports do better in school, they do less drugs and alcohol, and normally they are fitter. So it's normal that the coaches who wants to do good are fighting for these kids, and we have to protect them. And this is where I think in Iceland, miMove can help the kids here. On the opposite side is Qatar, where I've been watching youth do trainings, and their motor skills are absolutely terrible. Even running is unnatural to them. And I think there we should monitor how much they move, because they really need to move and do it in a different way than they are doing, because a lot of them have obesity, but normally what hurts me is their motor skills. They are so bad.
That's fascinating and very relevant to certainly the world of physical education. Lots of talk over the last probably 20 years about developing fundamental movement and its relationship with longer term engagement.